everyone, Jillian Idle here with Fox 4. Now, we've been out here all morning long surveying damage after a storm rolled through here in the area late last night. Now, we've been talking to residents, and I'm going to show you some of the damage that we've encountered and also what residents are telling us. So I'm going to flip around so you can see kind of what we're looking at. But right now, we're going to take a closer walk to our photog right now. But as you can see, there's just trees split in half. There's panelings from the side of homes now just completely missing. There's windows and screens that are now out. People are just... Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm doing a Facebook Live right now for Fox 4, and I'm curious if you guys want to just talk about your experience, like if you thought the damage was going to be this bad when you were, you know, going through the storm. I know a lot of people said that it didn't sound so bad, but then
I
they
wasn't.
woke up.
I didn't know there was going to. I mean, I didn't know there was going to be a tornado.
Yeah.
No, tornadoes do that. They come and go.
I mean, I didn't.
Yeah. It came down. It
No,
comes out of the sky. It grabs it and it leaves right away. I've seen it in Illinois. That's
All right,
what
I'll
happens.
say my. Are you live?
We're live right now on Facebook.
Well,
yeah.
I live 2 houses over, and I didn't know there was a tornado
What do you
coming,
think
but
of
I was
this,
in my
huh?
house, and all of a sudden I heard like hail hitting my windows, and just this rush of wind, and in a nanosecond it was kind of over.
It
So,
comes down out of the sky
and
and
I
grabs
feel
things.
very fortunate.
It might
I'm
only
2
be for
away, and
15, 20 seconds, then it leaves.
yeah,
You can
lots
see
of
it.
yard
Designated
waste
area.
and
It wasn't
soffit
windstorm.
material and all
Windstorm
that,
would be
but not structural
blocks and
damage.
blocks. This was
And that's
designated
good
area.
because
Look at
seeing, you know, homes just close to you, there is damage to several homes. And so, did you think the damage was going to be this bad? Like when you walked, did you come outside this morning or last night to survey?
I came out last night, but it was so pitch dark.
Yeah.
Couldn't see anything. You know, it was hard to see. I was trying to assess my neighbor's house right there, the one that's close to it. And no, I didn't imagine to see this at all.
Mother Nature, you never know when it's going to strike.
And so, have you ever been through a storm like this
As long
before?
as nobody got hurt.
Are you
Never.
Okay.
That's why you have
Never.
insurance.
We've had a lot of coastal storms, but not this kind of inland storm, you know, 50 feet inland.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, it surprises me. I'm glad that I was home with my husband and my dog.
Yes. And how'd your dog handle it? Did your dog? Because typically
I
sometimes
have
you know
doggy diapers for him.
Okay. Because I know sometimes animals are better at sensing storms than humans can be sometimes. So, was your dog acting strange? at
Yeah,
all?
he was, because he's very sensitive like that. It's a little Shih Tzu, but yeah, he was very cuddly just when it was raining. So we had lots of rain. I was very happy for the rain. Everybody wants rain, but I didn't want this.
Yes. Well, thank you for talking to us. I appreciate it. Again, we are here in Englewood, Florida, for those who are asking right now. Looking at some damage now. There was a storm that rolled through here last night, and then residents this morning waking up to see just there's insulation from the homes. Now on the ground, you can see there's fences here just completely torn apart. And this home has some pretty bad damage. You can see there's parts of the roof now completely missing. There's just furniture thrown everywhere. We're gonna walk a little bit more this way. We'll show you. Here's some of the roof just wrapped around inside paneling, just wrapped around this tree. Now also, if we walk across the street, if you stay with us, so I'm going to walk across the street, there's a boat. It looks like it was a pontoon boat that has been completely torn apart on its side. As you can see, here's some more of the damage. And we're here off of DeSoto Drive, which this is one of the worst hit areas here from the storm that came through about 9-10 o'clock last night. We've been talking to residents all morning about their experience, and it's interesting, a lot of residents we've talked to, they are telling us that, you know, while they were at home and inside their homes, they didn't think the storm damage would be this bad. It didn't sound like this type of damage was taking place outside while they were going through the storm. They said it didn't last too long, just a few minutes, and then they came outside this morning and woke up to this. Now there's just trash now thrown everywhere, trees split in half. We do understand there are power crews out here trying to restore power for residents. About 700 people lost power last night during the storm. Yes, and like Angela says, wow, crazy, long as everyone is okay. So the good news is, talking to residents and officials, and we haven't had exact official confirmation yet, but talking to them a few hours ago, we understand luckily no one has been reported injured from this. So that is very, very good news that no one has been hurt during this storm. But like I mentioned, there are now crews out here trying to cut around these trees that are now split and in between these power lines here. There's power crews now. Because of this I'm talking about, but it's through these bushes here. I don't know if we can zoom. Oh, we can on Facebook Live, but there is a boat back there that is now just completely ripped apart on its side. We'll just show you some more of the damage. So I'm going to also let you talk right now to our photog Juan. He's been out here all morning as well. So if you want to tell people this morning on our Facebook Live kind of what it's been like out here. I know you've been walking around a lot in between live shots, getting video. So just kind of what you've been seeing out here.
Just a lot of destruction of all different kinds. There's trees that have been torn down. There's houses that have been damaged. There's a boat over there that's been overturned, which the boat itself not only is overturned, but there's damage on the boat itself. It's just a lot of destruction that went through, and from what we've heard, it didn't take long at all. It's just kind of like a quick strike, and most of this damage done all at once. So it's pretty crazy to see. Thankfully, I don't think anyone's been injured so far that we've heard of. So that's, thank God for that. But it's just all around, just a bunch of damage. I mean, of every kind. Crews have been out here before we were, and our earliest crew was here around 11 p.m. So they've been working all night. So it's just a bunch of destruction to see everything.
Yes. And so now, again, thank you, Juan, for that. I'm going to show you some more. So here's the company now. They're trying to cut these branches. As you can see now, this tree split in half last night, and then half of it is laying now on a power line. And so, as you can imagine, a very dangerous situation. Power lines have been down all throughout the night. We understand, talking to residents, about 700 people lost power. We understand FPL, and thanks to these crews that have been out here since, I was talking to some of the people with the crew, they said they've been out here since about 10 last night. They have been able to restore about 500 to 600 people's homes. They have their power back up. There's still about 200 people right now without power. FPL tells us that they're hoping to get everyone's power restored by 9:30. So if you're without power, I understand you couldn't watch our broadcast. We talked to several of the residents saying we couldn't get you online, and without our phones, our internet, we couldn't get the website, but they're using their phones right now to tune into Facebook Live. So if you're joining us and you're living in the area, an update that you'll want to hear is that FPL says your power should be restored by 9:30 this morning. So that's good news. Another, some good news out of this situation and this storm and the damage it's caused is that we understand no injuries have been reported so far. So that's good news, especially when you have a situation like this with down power lines and it's dark outside, of course, because it's rolled through overnight. There's just trees that have been split in half, damaged homes, talking through a little bit a bit ago. The paneling now is completely torn off of homes, roofs now. Half the roof is missing. We were talking to some other residents too, living in a condo nearby, and they were saying just they have furniture on their back porch. The screen was completely ripped off. The furniture now nowhere to be found. And here, let's see. I don't want to get in the way, obviously, of these crews, but I kind of want to show you this boat that we stumbled upon earlier. Let's see. Because it's just a crazy situation. I don't know if we'll be able to get through right now, but again, we are here off DeSoto Drive in Englewood. We're just showing you some of the damage from this storm that rolled through about 9-10 o'clock last night. A lot of residents saying it didn't sound so bad when they were inside their homes. They knew a storm was coming. They didn't think the damage, though, when they woke up this morning and took a look outside was going to be this bad. As you can see, you know, trees split in half. There's just debris everywhere. People had their trash in their trash cans outside. That's now just flown around and thrown all throughout the roadways. Here's some cars trying to get through. Now, because of these crews out here working, they do have one lane completely blocked off. So if you are living in the area and you're trying to leave, you'll want to allow some extra time to get through because of all these crews out here trying to restore that power. So and I know Kathy just mentioned, wow, it was very windy last night here in Punta Gorda. Yes, and even this morning when we first arrived here, we had overnight crews here, and then the photographer with Juan and I arrived about 3:34 this morning, and all through the morning, even right now, it's still a little windy outside, so definitely getting some wind gusts, which I know made it a little difficult for some of these crews overnight, but they've been out here all night long. They had the big lights up, trying to work on these power lines. There were several that are down. They're working to get back up right now. Again, I will take you back down this street so you can see more of this damage. There's residents that are starting to wake up this morning and come outside to look at the damage now that the sun's starting to rise. Now this street and other streets here in the area, but you can see, you know, fencing just completely torn apart.
Yeah, on the other side, the gable is screwed up over there. There's a piece, I think there's an extra piece of written off the house.
Now there's one house I really want to show you at the end of this street. So you can see there's just trees completely uprooted. Again, for those just joining us, I'm Jillian Idle from Fox 4, and we've been out here since about 3:34 this morning, looking at all the damage, talking to residents. Now, a storm rolled through this area. We're here in Englewood, and we're off of DeSoto Drive right now. And as we understand, the storm rolled through the area last night. Residents we talked to this morning say, you know, they did not think it was going to be this bad. While they were at home, they said, you know, there was definitely some loud noises and stuff, but they thought it passed by fairly quickly. So you can imagine the surprise and shock as they wake up this morning to see this. Now, here's the home I really want to show you. Now, talking to neighbors nearby, they say this home was a gorgeous home just yesterday. And now this morning, it's just paneling completely ripped off, windows hanging, the fence broken and torn apart. Some of the roof now wrapped around this tree. And I also want to show you the backyard, so I'm going to take you back there. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So you can see this home too has some damage. right across the street. Paneling just kind of hanging right now. Here's the screen porch completely ripped off. You can see just branches thrown all over this yard, furniture just thrown everywhere, the roof completely torn apart, sides of the home missing, windows shattered. Seems like this home probably got the worst damage we've seen. And talking to a resident who lives, she said, just about 2 houses away from here, she said she had absolutely no structure damage. So it's interesting that this home. Hi. Were you, or do you live nearby?
Oh, I was one of the rescuers.
Okay.
American Red Cross.
Okay. Thomas is asking, where is this at? We are off DeSoto Drive here in Englewood. And you can see the damage.
I'm from the Midwest, from Illinois, and we're used to tornadoes. We got this close to it.
I know, you know, it says it there that I was wondering, now that it's a little worse, you really see the inside. What are your thoughts?
A lot of cleaning up to do in the modern day.
Still pretty cool and windy out here this morning, but residents, now that the sun is starting to rise, are coming outside after a storm rolled through the area late last night. You can see too on this home, the same home, just paneling and the roof just in pieces now. You can see residents out here taking photos. We've been talking to them all morning. Of course, we'll be telling some of their stories and kind of what took place and what they experienced. We'll have that up for you on our website, fox4now.com. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, again, Jillian Idle here now. Thanks for joining this Facebook Live. We've been showing you some of the damage here that several residents went through last night after a storm rolled through here. And talking to these residents, they say, you know, they didn't expect this type of damage after the storm. They said it wasn't that bad of a storm, or at least they didn't think it was that bad of a storm while they were inside, and then waking up this morning and seeing everything, they're just in complete shock. So we're going to talk more to these residents so we can give you more of their stories and their accounts, and we'll have that for you on our website, fox4now.com, so you can check back there for all the latest information, the latest details. Of course, we're going to talk to officials about the severity of this storm and if there's any potential. We understand the National Weather Service is the ones who would make a final call after surveying the damage and using their tools to determine if it was more than just a typical storm. So we'll have that information for you, of course, on our newscast tonight, as well as on our Facebook page and website. So be sure to tune in for the very latest. And thank you so much for joining. We're going to go ahead and end this so we can talk to more residents here in the area and bring you the most up-to-date information, again, on air and online at fox4now.com.